Oh, wow.
Big news here. The Academy Board of Governors banning Will Smith from all Academy events for 10 years.
Could this be the end of one of Hollywood's most iconic partnerships? Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, the dynamic duo behind the Bad Boys franchise, have thrilled audiences for years. But recent rumors suggest their bond may be unraveling. Whispers around Tinseltown hint at more than just a falling out between friends, with speculation pointing to Will's alleged ties to Hollywood's secretive and controversial circles as a possible reason for Martin's apparent distance. Could there be more to this story than meets the eye?
I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk.
Let's dive into the heart of the speculation. For years, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence seemed inseparable, their on-screen chemistry in Bad Boys solidifying their place as Hollywood royalty. Fans adored their hilarious banter and undeniable camaraderie. But things began to change, and while the cracks weren't obvious at first, recent comments suggest a noticeable strain in their relationship, particularly after a wild night in Miami that reportedly left Martin deeply shaken.
Been almost 30 years that the both of you just proved everybody wrong. Like, I was looking up the infancy of this franchise, and originally producers wanted Dana Carvey, John Lovitz to play these characters.
Yeah, that would have been very different.
Very different.
It all began with what was meant to be a night out for the culture. Will had persuaded Martin to join him at Glam Slam, the iconic nightclub owned by none other than Prince himself. Known for his unrelenting charm, Will wasn't about to take no for an answer, so Martin, newly married at the time, reluctantly agreed. What started as a seemingly harmless night on the town quickly took a turn Martin never saw coming, and not in a good way.
We keep it as a surprise. That's how we maintain the element of surprise.
Got it.
You never know what Bad Boys.
Imagine entering a club with such a wild atmosphere that it feels like another dimension. That's how Martin described it after entering Glam Slam that night. It was loud, the drinks were flowing, and the VIP area was bustling with celebrities. However, things took a turn for the worse when a woman approached Martin and danced provocatively in front of him. Martin is known for being a stand-up comedian, so when she lifted her skirt in front of him without shame or underwear, he was mortified. To make matters worse, she had the gall to ask him to get a little more intimate right there in the club. Martin was out of there.
Do I know him in a past life? No, but the Will that I know now, I love.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a good brother.
No.
According to rumors, this was the moment Martin decided he had enough of Will's wild side. "This is why I don't go anywhere with you," he reportedly told Will as he stormed out. From that night on, the two were never spotted partying together again. But what was it about that night that changed everything? Was it simply a bad experience, or did Martin catch a glimpse of a side of Will he wanted nothing to do with?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
Here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't the first time Will's name had been tied to Hollywood's more questionable circles. For years, rumors have swirled about secretive parties hosted by some of the entertainment industry's most powerful figures, and Will's name consistently pops up in these conversations. But it's not just the exclusivity of these events that has people talking. It's what allegedly happens behind closed doors. Whispers of debauchery, questionable behavior, and hidden agendas have surrounded these gatherings, with some claiming they're more than just a playground for Hollywood's elite. Instead, they're said to be breeding grounds for shady dealings and morally ambiguous activities. If the rumors hold any truth, Will has been a regular at these parties for years, rubbing shoulders with influential and controversial figures, including the infamous scene Diddy comes.
Then if he does this new, quote, robust bail package, you can avoid and evade. And he is very connected with people that can help him avoid and evade. I'm not saying he will, but I would be surprised if the court grants him a bond When the federal government wants you detained, you are normally detained. And here it was a very far-reaching situation that he was involved in.
Diddy's parties have always been the stuff of legend, lavish, exclusive, and undeniably wild. These extravagant events attract A-list celebrities from every corner of the entertainment world. But recently, it's not just the glitz and glamour that have people buzzing. It's the rumors about what really happens behind closed doors. According to various sources, these parties are known to push boundaries, featuring activities that range from risky to downright controversial. And as the whispers grow louder, one name continues to surface: Will Smith, who is said to be a frequent guest at these infamous gatherings.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with food.
One major source of controversy surrounding Diddy's parties is the claim that they're more than just extravagant celebrations. Allegations suggest these gatherings often cross into ethically questionable territory, with guests purportedly encouraged to partake in activities they might otherwise avoid. Some reports even hint that these events provide a space for Hollywood's elite to indulge in their darkest desires, protected from public scrutiny by layers of security and secrecy. Could this be what Martin witnessed that night in Miami? Did he see something that made him question his friendship with Will?
And Martin stopped me on the first day. And he was like, hey, come here. And I said, what? He said, I just want you to know I love you, man. Right? And I was like, yeah. You know, all love, brother, all love. He said, no, right here. And I looked and he was like, I love you, man.
It's not just Diddy's parties that have sparked controversy. Will's connections to other influential figures in Hollywood's underground scene have raised eyebrows as well. Rumors suggest he's built close relationships with high-profile individuals known for hosting similarly provocative events, and one such figure is Will's own son, Jaden Smith, who has been spotted at some of these exclusive gatherings. Known for his eccentric fashion and boundary-pushing persona, Jaden has always been a wild card, with some speculating that his involvement in these parties may have influenced his father's behavior. Then there's the matter of Will's highly scrutinized marriage to Jada Pinkett Smith. The couple has always been open about their unconventional relationship, admitting to their share of ups and downs. But recent revelations have added fuel to the fire, with some suggesting that their open marriage may have paved the way for even more questionable behavior on Will's part.
Is everybody familiar with the old Houdini? So what Diddy's lawyers are trying to do is pull a Houdini. They're trying to say that the evidence that they have is different. Well, it's not different. The video that the entire world has seen is not going to go away. The fact that he had parties that were freak-offs is not going away. So it's just a question of whether or not Diddy is able to make bond. And
in fact, some insiders claim that Will's marriage to Jada has been more of a business arrangement than a traditional partnership. According to these sources, the couple's decision to stay together despite their numerous public scandals is less about love and more about maintaining their status as Hollywood royalty. By staying married, Will and Jada have been able to present themselves as a stable power couple, which has only served to boost their careers. However, behind closed doors, some say their relationship is far from stable, and that this may be one of the factors drawing Will deeper into Hollywood's darker, more controversial circles.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most.
But what does all of this have to do with Martin Lawrence? Some believe Martin's decision to distance himself from Will may have been triggered by what he saw at these controversial parties. One theory suggests that Martin was invited to one of Diddy's infamous gatherings and was so shocked by what he witnessed that he chose to sever ties with Will entirely. Whether or not this theory is true remains unclear, but it's evident that something significant has changed between the two former friends. And it's not just about one bad night in Miami. What makes this even more intriguing is the fact that Will Smith has always been seen as Hollywood's good guy, the lovable Fresh Prince, known for his charm and charisma. But if the rumors are true, there may be a darker side to Will, one carefully hidden behind his squeaky clean public image. As more people come forward with stories about what goes on at these exclusive Hollywood parties, it's becoming increasingly difficult for Will to maintain the persona he's built over the years.
The name Brother Bilal may not be a name you heard of, but if you're Will Smith, it's the name of your former friend of nearly 40 years.
One of the most shocking aspects of these rumors is the suggestion that Will may have been involved in activities far beyond just partying. Some sources claim that Will has attended events where morally questionable behavior wasn't just tolerated but actively encouraged. These allegations have sparked speculation that his involvement in these circles could eventually lead to legal trouble, especially as law enforcement agencies start to take a closer look at the activities of high-profile figures in Hollywood. And it's not just Will who could be in hot water. Diddy, who has long been linked to these controversial parties, is also under increasing scrutiny. In fact, federal agents recently raided 2 of Diddy's properties as part of an ongoing investigation into allegations of illegal activity. While no charges have been filed yet, the involvement of law enforcement suggests that there may be more to these rumors than anyone realized.
You seemed a little dazed afterwards.
No, I was gone, dude. You know, that was a rage that had been bottled for a really long time.
So where does this leave Will Smith? If these allegations are true, he could face serious consequences, both professionally and personally. His reputation, already taking hits in recent years, could be completely shattered if more details about his involvement in these parties emerge. And if Martin Lawrence's decision to distance himself from Will is any indication, it seems that some of Will's closest friends may already be turning their backs on him. For now, though, it's all just speculation. Until more concrete evidence surfaces, we can only guess at what's really happening behind the scenes. What we do know is that Hollywood is a place where secrets rarely stay hidden for long, and from past scandals, we've learned that the truth always has a way of coming out eventually.
Still pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share.
As for Martin Lawrence, it seems he's opting to keep a low profile for now. Despite his long history with Will, Martin has been noticeably absent from recent events and has yet to address the rumors surrounding his former friend. Whether Martin knows more than he's letting on remains a mystery, but one thing is certain: Hollywood's elite are watching closely, and the fallout from these rumors could be nothing short of explosive.
Diddy will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
And what about Diddy's role in all of this? The music mogul has long been known for his extravagant lifestyle and larger-than-life persona, but lately, the spotlight on his events has taken a darker turn, especially with federal agents now involved. The stakes have never been higher, and it's possible that more high-profile names could be dragged into the controversy as the investigation unfolds. But let's dig deeper. While Will Smith's strained friendship with Martin Lawrence has been making waves, it's his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith that really has people talking. For years, the Smiths have been one of Hollywood's most talked-about couples, not just for their fame, but for their unconventional marriage that's always been a subject of rumors and speculation. With all the recent buzz surrounding Will's involvement in Diddy's infamous parties and the growing scandal around Hollywood's darker side, people are beginning to wonder if their marriage is more than just unconventional. Could it be that their relationship has played a key role in Will's connections to these controversial circles?
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives?
Let's start by acknowledging the obvious. Will and Jada have never had a traditional marriage. They've been open about their struggles, separations, and their decision to approach marriage on their own terms. But recently, Jada dropped a bombshell that only added more fuel to the fire. In her latest memoir, *Worthy*, she revealed that she and Will have actually been separated since 2016. That's right. While the world thought they were simply navigating an open relationship, it turns out they've been living apart for years. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more interesting, especially in light of the recent accusations surrounding Will's alleged involvement in Hollywood's more secretive circles. But here's the twist. Despite their separation, Jada insists they're still committed to each other. She explained that even though they've been living separately, they remain life partners. But what does that even mean? According to Jada, it's no longer about being in a traditional romantic relationship. It's about supporting each other through everything. This concept of a life partnership has raised eyebrows, with many speculating that their marriage is more of a strategic alliance than anything else. Could it be that their union has allowed them to each explore different paths that include some of the more controversial aspects of Hollywood life?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start I'm standing there.
Let's rewind to 2020, when Will and Jada sat down for that now infamous red table talk where Jada admitted to having what she called an entanglement with singer Avis Dalsina. The internet exploded with mixed reactions, Will's pained expressions, and Jada's casual use of the term entanglement, making it an instant cultural moment. But looking back, there was something even more significant about that conversation. Will seemed to already know about the relationship. It wasn't a surprise to him, and it certainly wasn't a deal breaker. Why? Because, as Jada explained, their relationship had evolved beyond traditional marriage expectations. They had an understanding that allowed them both to explore other connections without the usual boundaries or restrictions.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
Now, take that mindset and apply it to the rumors surrounding Will's involvement in Diddy's parties. If Will and Jada have agreed to live their lives without the typical constraints of marriage, what else might they have agreed to? Could it be that Will's alleged presence at these exclusive Hollywood events is simply part of the freedom Jada described? After all, if they've been separated since 2016, it's possible that Will has been living a completely different life outside of the public eye, one that includes connections with some of Hollywood's most controversial figures.
Jada Pinkett Smith, that's fucked up. Seriously.
But that's not all. Jada's public persona has been just as intriguing over the years. She's been vocal about her spiritual journey, her commitment to personal growth, and her belief in unconditional love. In interviews, she's often discussed the importance of transparency in relationships, suggesting that trust is more important than fidelity. This philosophy has led many to speculate that Jada and Will's marriage has been more about maintaining a united front than anything else. In fact, some insiders have even suggested that their relationship has helped both of them preserve their status in Hollywood's elite circles. By staying together, they've managed to avoid the kind of public scrutiny that could come with a high-profile breakup. But here's where things get even more complicated. Whispers have surfaced that Jada's openness about her relationships might be masking something deeper. Some sources claim that Jada has known about Will's alleged involvement in Hollywood's underground scene for years, and that she's been complicit in keeping it under wraps. Could it be that their life partnership is really just a way to protect each other from the fallout of their separate lives? If so, it would explain why Jada has been so adamant about staying married to Will, even after their separation. By keeping up appearances, they've been able to shield themselves from the kind of scandal that could derail their careers.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily, so I guess right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind.
But let's not forget the other key player in this story, Diddy, who's been at the center of many of the rumors surrounding Hollywood's exclusive parties. Diddy has long been associated with some of the biggest names in the industry, and his parties are legendary, known for their exclusivity and high-profile guest lists. However, recently, the spotlight on these events has taken a darker turn, with accusations of inappropriate behavior and even legal trouble hanging over them. While Diddy has denied any wrongdoing, the fact remains that his name continues to be linked to some of Hollywood's most controversial stories. So where does Will fit into all of this? According to some sources, Will has been a regular at Diddy's events for years. And while there's no concrete proof of anything inappropriate happening, the rumors alone are enough to raise questions. After all, when you're part of Hollywood's elite, your reputation is everything. If Will has been spending time at these parties, it's not hard to imagine that he may have been exposed to some of the darker sides of the entertainment industry. Whether or not he participated is another story, but the mere fact that his name is being mentioned in connection with these events is enough to make people wonder.
We're monitoring another push to free Sean Diddy Combs tonight, with his legal team citing new evidence in an updated bail proposal. The music mogul agreeing to around-the-clock security and cutting out contact with basically anyone but his legal team to get out of jail ahead of his trial scheduled for May of next year for charges he allegedly coerced and abused women for years.
And it's not just Diddy's parties that have people speculating about Will's behavior. There have also been rumors surrounding his close relationships with other high-profile figures in Hollywood, including younger stars like Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith. Both Bieber and Jaden have had their own brushes with controversy over the years, and their connections to Will have only fueled the gossip. Some have even suggested that Will's mentorship of these younger stars might have exposed him to some of the riskier aspects of Hollywood life, further adding to the speculation about his involvement in some of the industry's more questionable circles.
That fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed?
Take Justin Bieber, for example. A few years ago, a video surfaced of Bieber hanging out with Diddy, and the internet went wild with speculation. In the clip, Diddy is seen showing off a Lamborghini to a young Bieber and promising to let him drive it when he's older. At the time, it seemed like a harmless moment between music industry friends, but in light of recent allegations, some have started to question the nature of these relationships. Could it be that Bieber's connection to Diddy, and by extension to Will, was more than just a mentor-mentee dynamic? While there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, the timing of these rumors has raised more than a few eyebrows. Then there's Jaden Smith. Will's son has always been a bit of a wild card, known for his eccentric style and his willingness to push boundaries. Over the years, Jaden has been spotted at some of the same parties as his father, leading to speculation that he may have been exposed to the same controversial circles. In fact, there was a moment at Coachella a few years ago that had people talking. A video surfaced showing Jaden and Justin Bieber in a close embrace, with Bieber even planting a kiss on Jaden's cheek. While the moment was likely just a display of friendship, it didn't stop the internet from running wild with speculation about what might have been going on behind the scenes. But it's not just about the parties or relationships. There's also the issue of power. Will and Jada have long been seen as Hollywood royalty, and with that status comes influence. Some insiders have suggested that the Smiths' continued success in the industry might be tied to their connections with powerful figures like Diddy. After all, Hollywood is a place where who you know can make or break your career, and the Smiths certainly know a lot of people. Could it be that their marriage and their decision to stay together despite their separation has been a calculated move to maintain their influence in the industry?
Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the...
It's an intriguing theory, and one that seems to gain more credibility in light of recent events. If Will and Jada have been living separate lives for years, it's possible that their decision to remain married has more to do with protecting their brand than any emotional attachment. By presenting a united front, they've managed to keep the public and media focused on their careers rather than their personal lives. In a place like Hollywood, where image is everything, that kind of strategy can be incredibly valuable. But what happens if the rumors continue to spread? If Will's name keeps surfacing in connection with these controversial parties? It's only a matter of time before the media starts digging deeper. And if more details come to light, it could spell major trouble for both Will and Jada, especially if they've been keeping secrets about their involvement in Hollywood's darker, underground scene.
And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
For now, the Smiths are staying tight-lipped. Jada's memoir sheds some light on their separation, but it didn't dive into the larger issues at play. As for Will, he's been keeping a low profile in the wake of the recent scandals, possibly hoping the rumors will eventually fade. But in a world as interconnected as Hollywood, where everyone knows everyone, keeping secrets for long is nearly impossible. With Diddy's ongoing legal troubles now bringing more attention to his inner circle, it's likely that Will's role in all of this could become a bigger story in the coming months. So what's next for Will and Jada? Will their marriage withstand the growing pressure, or will the rumors finally catch up to them? And what about Martin Lawrence? Will he continue to distance himself from Will, or could he eventually speak out about what he knows? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what you think about this high-stakes drama. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious.